The following video is the continuation of a series. We are going to be giving you enough information to start watching here, but you may want to go back and start at the beginning. It's up to you. The start is rather rocky. That is a heads up from us.
Yeah.
Oh god.
The story I am about to tell you details the travels of the Planehoppers from the dawn of time to present date. If you wish for this not to fall upon your ears, go back now, or be forever spoiled. You have been warned. Oh, you read my mind. Okay. Long ago, before time, land, and space, there existed two immortal brothers, the Black Magus, Jalhala Shaikorth, and the White Magus, Rilim Shaikorth. The White Magus crafted the planes of existence, large spans of land with unique environments and climates, and the Black Magus made their inhabitants. Doing so took a lot of their energy, and after the ordeal they were exhausted. So they entrusted a small bit of each of their powers to two beings so they could take a break. These two were known as the Red and the Blue Tiefling. The Tieflings were trusted to guard the realm, while the brothers were away on break. The Black Magus, Jalhala, gave them the power of bonds. The White Magus, Rilim, gave them the gift of magic. Time passed, and the Magi took their break. When the Magi came back, however, they found their gifts had been shared. Accidentally, Red and Blue had created an entirely new people bearing gifts of magic, the Wizards. The White Magus, furious at this misuse of his power, cursed the Tieflings for their transgressions. They would be forced to painfully reincarnate until they could learn to take responsibility for their powers. The Tieflings, defiant, took a stance to fight back for the rights of their people. Before conflict could arise, however, the Black Magus defended the Tieflings. He argued that what they had done was not a misuse, but rather a fascinating development that should be given a chance to grow. In a fiery dispute with his brother, the Black Magus took leave of his home in the outside, taking the Tieflings and the Wizards with. He arrived in the Prime Material Plane, a world not unlike our own. However, they weren't out of the woods yet. The White Magus chased him, and a ferocious battle ensued, known as the Battle of the Gates. Blades were crossed, spells were flung, and lives were lost. The Battle of the Gates claimed the souls of the righteous who sought freedom from their oppressors. It was a challenge, but in the end, the Black Magus defeated his brother and banished his immortal form to the outside. Their job was not yet over. To protect the newly born race, the Black Magus constructed 8 gates, magical seals which blocked the entrance to the outside. He placed one in each of the different planes of existence: the Prime Material Plane, the 4 elemental planes of Earth, Fire, Water, and Air, and the spiritual planes of the Feywild, the Ethereal, and the Abyss. To defend each gate, they elected a powerful and dedicated wizard known as a Magister. Each Magister would hold domain over a single plane and a single wizard's tower, within which resides their gate. He then constructed robotic guardians to pair along with each of the 8 Magisters. The guardians existed to protect the gate, if the Magisters were ever not present. 8 towers, 8 gates, 8 Magisters, and 8 guardians. So long as both the guardian and the Magister stayed living, the gates could not be opened, and the White Magus would be incapable of enacting his vengeance. Satisfied with their work, the Black Magus and the Tieflings disappeared into obscurity. The system worked for a time. However, outsiders eventually managed to find their way through, regardless of the best efforts of the Magisters. There came a time when the Magisters themselves could not properly defend all the planes at once, and thus a new group had to be formed, the Planehopper Organization. The Planehoppers were a collective of wizards who claimed no single plane as their home, and traveled from place to place, halting outbreaks and outsider attacks. Yet again, this seemed to work, and for a time the wizards repelled the attacks of the outside, defeating or sealing away any outsider that managed to break its way through the gates. Many years passed, and a newer threat began brewing. The White Magus was starting to wake up. Rather than send an army, with his minimal influence, the White Magus sent an assassin. A skeletal figure by the name of Nazgul Wraith. Nazgul broke through the gates, and was able to steal power from the Black Magus. Incredible power, boosting him to a near demigod status. He then took the Black Magus's place, and slowly started weaving lies in hopes of breaking apart the Magister Organization. Multiple Magisters lost their lives to his work, but Nazgul was greedy. He saw this as an opportunity for power, and instead of trying to free his master, the White Magus, he tried to take it all for himself. At the height of his madness, the last remaining members of the Planehopper Organization set forth to stand in his way. There was Tenrir Mars Alencott, the current reincarnation of the Red Tiefling and fearsome sword fighter, with his two mighty outsider companions, Abraxas, the Flame of Retribution, and Kuvera, the Rage Beast. Alongside him stood his faithful lover and companion, Priscilla Hawthorne, the current reincarnation of the Blue Tiefling, and her outsider companion, Glade the Ice Walker. They were joined by Magister Solomon Prime Glander, a diminutive but equally threatening and resourceful puppeteer, and his army of puppets. Magister Kiana Mars, a quick thinker and scribe, as well as master swordswoman and weaver of the ethereal, was never too far from their sides. And finally, Joel Simpson, the reincarnated form of the Black Magus, with his trusty flaming spatula and Aunt Philly, the Rocket Fist, at his side. Oh, and something about a crazy robot. Alongside them came a cast of other wizards, most notably Grand Magister Vercule Hysterica, a shadow mage with an electric twist, the late Withrow Dumbledolf, previous leader of the Planehoppers and Slinger of Runes, dual magisters Frank Silverstein and Hazel LeBlanc, adept fighters and envoys of mischief, and a handful of others. It was this force that teamed on and took on Nazgul's web of lies. They fought for our safety, for our freedom, and in the end, they won. But not without a sacrifice. Nazgul had cheated. In a state of stopped time, he poisoned both Pris and Tenrir, and positioned to kill them both. The Black Magus, finally recovering a mere ounce of his power, used it all to defeat Nazgul, but it cost the life of the Red Tiefling, Tenrir. Nazgul was sealed, however the day ended in bitter regret. The slithering vizier now lies imprisoned at the bottom of the ice-cold stronghold known as Schloss Glatteis, on its maximum clearance floor, guarded by powerful anti-magic wizards. But with his last breath, he sowed seeds of doubt and discomfort. And as the leaves of autumn began to fall, rumors of an even greater threat began circulating. A group of individuals plotting in the dark pits of Umbra, capital city of the outside, that call themselves the Ashen Guard. 12 striking figures, each bore numbers ranking their strength. While this power and knowledge was enlightening, it couldn't help but be slightly unnerving that Nazgul, in all his strength, was merely rank 8. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Planehoppers Season 2, Ashes to Ashes. 6 days after Lorenzo. The date is June 10th. The year is 8124 of the Australian calendar. Inside a mind, an empty mind, devoid of meaning, purpose, or existence. Name. You should have a name. What was it again? You've all but forgotten. Or maybe you never even had one to begin with? Is this a beginning or an end? All is black. Was it always this way? What a peculiar sensation. a feeling of sand between your toes. Then a voice speaks.
Get up. You have people to meet.
Unfortunately, due to the nature of this child, I had a hard time discerning his name, but from the best we can tell, he goes by Levin.
Well, alright. Let's see what I can do. Takes a deep breath, dusts off his coat and hat, starts walking forward.
Alright. Pathfinder will float politely behind you.
Alright.
Now be careful not to startle the child.
Speaking of child, do you see that?
Yes, I do.
That's not good.
That was not in the paths.
That's not good.
Approach closely. Be cautious. He's a child after all.
Yeah. Kind of like gives a wide berth to the bird.
What's Levin doing at this point?
Is this stone right here?
The thing the bird's on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's kind of poking at it, just curious as heck, and after a moment, part of it kind of like clings to his finger, causing him to fall back startled. Just kind of look at his hands, and then the rock. Mr. Birdie, I don't understand this.
Pathfinder clears his throat.
Hey there, kiddo. Hmm? Who are you? I'm Wildcat. Friend. What's your name, kid? I don't know. I don't know where I am. Who am I?
You are in a place known as the Outer Planes. You were recently created, I assume, yes?
I don't know. There was this really nice voice that spoke, and then he was quiet.
Peculiar. From what I've gathered, everyone's experience is slightly different when they first wake up here.
Yeah. It's been forever, Pathy. Do you remember yours?
Pathfinder looks at Wildcard. Technically, I never did wake up here. But that is a story for another time.
Well then, you said you don't know your name, kid. Well, it just so happens that, I do. Boy's eyes kind of light up a little bit, staring at Wildcard, kind of like, go on then. And he just, Wildcard just chuckles, and yeah, your name is, 11. We, I guess you could call us like an extended family, if that would help make you feel a little better. What's a family?
It's a group of people that you find reliable.
People you can lean on when you need help. Look to for experience and, well,
The world out here can be rather scary, Levin. We're here to make sure you don't have to deal with all of that immediately.
you shouldn't get any closer.
Why
Why
ever
is that?
not?
The last thing that got close, I accidentally...
Pathfinder looks at the rock that has a disturbingly creature-shaped, like, contour to it.
Wildcat just kind of looks at Pathfinder, then the rock, and just like, it's alright, kid. Lesson number 1. Something like that will only happen if you want it to. Trust me on this. The kid kind of like backs up ever so slightly on the ground, just a little worried.
By the way, child, Pathfinder reaches out his long, ethereal, claw-like hand. My name is Pathfinder. A pleasure to meet you. Do not be afraid. You will not be able to harm me.
Yeah, think of it this way. You can't harm a friend, and you can't harm family.
That is a good way to put it. Scratches his chin.
Levin shakily reaches out his hand, and the bird on the rock turns and just watches. I'm Levin, you said? It's nice to meet you, Mr. Pathfinder, sir. And he's gonna try to touch the hand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And just...
It's very gentle for how monstrous it looks. He shakes politely.
feels really weird, but nice.
Take your time. I do not want to rush you into something you're not comfortable with.
Oh! I know one name, though, that's not mine.
Pathfinder looks down, perplexed.
Yeah. He kind of points up at the bird. He was there with me when I woke up.
Really?
Well, kind of, sort of. He's been watching. He's really nice.
Pathfinder narrows his eyes at the bird.
And he also is like one of the things I whenever he landed on me, I couldn't. Well, here, so come down. And the bird just kind of flutters down and lands on the child's head and just stares at Pathfinder, then tilts his head.
Wild card, are you seeing what I'm seeing?
What are
A
you saying?
friendly nevermore?
A friendly nevermore.
Yes.
That is... You know, I had to train my birds for a while.
I don't get near the things. They like to peck at my beard.
Yeah, but... You know, we don't have to worry about another Nazgul, do we?
Oh heavens, no. There can't be more than one of him.
What's a Nazgul?
It's a name for a bad person, Levin.
Oh. What is bad?
We can teach you if you want.
Mm,
Bad is someone who does things that you don't like.
somebody that would harm you, your friends, your family. Try to ruin your day right up, your whole life. That's what this Nazgul fellow were.
There's like a rustle of like wings and a flutter and a bunch of cawing of birds as a bunch come out of a nearby willow tree. Pathfinder looks around. Mayhaps it's best we don't talk here.
Yeah. Come on, kiddo.
You have a safe place that you can come to with us. It's called the City of Umbra.
The child kind of looks a little confused and worried again, and
It's all right, Levin. We'll explain it in time.
Wildcard kneels down, getting a little closer, and takes off his hat. How about this? If you're feeling a little scared, you can wear my hat for a little bit. You're like I guess, let's say nephew to me. Something like that. I'll protect you, kiddo. Okay. Reaches out and grabs the hat, quickly putting it on, and kind of gets a little bit of a smile. And he will follow the two of them with angry squawks underneath the hat.
As you head back. to Umbra.
Oh boy.